Aloha, my friends. Happy Monday. Are you ready to get yourself some skills? How's it going today? Ready to start the week off strong? Well, let's start the week off strong by getting ourselves some skills. By the way, have you checked out don'tgetmadgetskills.com? Go on to check out don'tgetmadgetskills.com. And when you see this pop up here, this pop-up right here is where you can go ahead and put in your email address and your name, and then get yourself 253 Excel shortcuts in Mac or Windows versions. So we're continuing on with our series of learning how to calculate our data, starting with how to write a formula in Excel. How are y'all doing so far? Been learning a few things? In the event that you're just now joining us, and this is the first time you see this Don't Get Mad, Get Skills Calculating Your Data live stream, make sure that you go check out our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Billy Wiggly. And right here on the YouTube channel is where you're going to remember to subscribe when you come on here. Go check out this playlist, the playlist that's called Live Stream. Okay? And on the live stream playlist is where you're going to have all of these live streams, and you'll be able to see all of the different sessions that we've already had. So there you have it. It's our YouTube channel, where you're already at right now, but it's a playlist, what you want to take a look at to get caught up on what you've been missed. Duh. That's right. You're already on the YouTube channel if you're watching this. Ding, 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 ding. Happy Monday. Let's get into some formulas. What we learned last Friday during the last live stream is how to write a formula in Excel. And when you're writing a formula in Excel, remember, we're not adding, dividing, multiplying the numbers. We're calculating the cells. It's the contents of the cells that change. So when you're writing a formula, you start out first with equal. That's right. That's the command that tells Excel, do this. And then we just point and click. We're going to say Excel, click, take the contents of this cell right here, and then we put in the operator, in this case plus, and add it to the contents of this cell right here. So that formula is just saying, hey Excel, take whatever's in C3 and add it to whatever's in D3. The only thing that's going to change are the contents of those cells. The formula remains the same. Notice that 12 plus 6, the total is 18. If I change that 6 to 0, then the total changes to 12. And the formula still is the same. It's still equal to C3 plus D3. The only thing that changed were the amounts or the contents of the cell. Now, we just copy the formula on down. Let me go right ahead and press Control tilde to maximize. Now I'm going to press Control A. I'm going to go to the View tab, and in the View tab, I'm going to say Zoom to the selection. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my marquee right on the cell E3 where my formula is. So you see my marquee right here. Now I'm going to double click on the autofill handle, click to copy the formula down. And now what you're seeing is relative cell referencing. So this formula right here references cells C3 and D3. Now when I double click on the autofill handle and copy the formula all the way down, Excel is really smart and it updates the cell references. So now for this formula, it's C4 plus D4, and this one is C5 plus D5. That's called relative cell referencing. So whenever we copy our formula down, it kept all of our cell references relative. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next step. And here we're going to kick it up a notch. Here we're going to write a formula. Pay close attention. We're going to write a formula that gives us our prices, including the tax, plus the shipping. And we're not going to tax the shipping, all right? So one more time. We're going to go right in here. We're going to take the prices. We're going to calculate the tax, and then we're going to add the shipping, but we're not going to tax the shipping. So what's the formula? Let's work right through it. Step one. We have to tell Excel, do this, Excel, command it. So we put in our equal sign. And then we just point and click. We don't need to type A4 times. Okay, we can just click what cell. We want A4, and then you got to press the asterisk because that means multiplication in Excel. We're going to take A4 times B1 because that's the tax rate. So that's going to give us the tax amount. So once we have the tax amount, we have to add it back to the price. Remember? That's how we calculate how much tax we have to pay on something that we're buying. Calculate the tax rate and then take that amount and add it back to the original price. That's going to give us the price including the tax, and now we're going to add the shipping. So the formula there says A4 times B1 plus A4 plus B4. And then I press enter and it's like, yay! Watch, let's do it different. Let's say what I see a lot of people do. A lot of people just say, hey, Billy, it's just the A4, the price, times B1, the tax, and then add the shipping. So A4 times B1 plus B4, that would tell us $2.99 because it's just taking the price of the cost of the shipping and adding it to the tax amount of the price. We need to go ahead and add A4 times B1 gives us the tax amount. Then we go ahead and add that tax amount right back to the price, and then we add the shipping. And there we have it. Let me fix this. Click, and then we add the shipping. Oops. That's the beauty of color coding. I'm sitting here talking. I'm not even paying attention to the cell references. I was just looking at the color coding. And I accidentally had clicked right here on shipping saying A4 times B1 plus B4. And then all of a sudden I noticed, hey, wait, why are they purple? And then I realized because I didn't click on the right reference. It's the price. See, that's another really cool thing about Excel. It color codes things so that helps you minimize errors. There's even ways to check your formulas in Excel. It's called error checking. We'll talk about that on another live stream. So now I press enter. We see that the total is $14.99, and now we're excited because we're going to just double click on the autofill handle and copy the formula all down, and we're done. Ba-bam. Oh. That is wrong. Looks like we may be having some issues with our live stream. But we're still streaming. We're still here. Okay, so let me go right back. And let me clear this off for us right here. We're going to do this all over again. So we've got our formula, A4 times B1 plus B4 plus B4. Enter. There's our total. We're double clicking on the autofill handle to copy the formula down, and then we realize, oh no, we've got errors. Well, why did this happen? Here we see cell referencing. This formula references cells A4, B1, A4, and B4. Now watch this. I'm going to minimize this a little bit so that we can open up all the formulas and view them. And now take a look at what just has happened. Relative referencing. This formula says A4 times B1, which is correct, plus A4 plus B4. Now take a look at the next formula. When we copied the formula down, it kept all the cell references relative. So now it's saying we'll take A5 and multiply it times B2, add back A5, and then add B5. What's the problem? See? That's right. It should be B1 that we're multiplying. Now watch this. We go down to the next formula, and this one says A6 times B3. And so how the error that we're getting here, it's called a value error. And the value error means that we've got conflicting values. And what I've got here in this formula is we've got A6, which is a value, a number value, 18 times shipping. And that type of value is text. That's text. We've got number and we have text. Have you ever tried to multiply numbers times text? You can't. That's why we get a value error. We have conflicting values. And then when we go into the next formula, we see the relative referencing working, and it's A7 times B4. So relative referencing is keeping everything relative and moving it down relative to where it's at. So what we want to do is we could manually go in here and correct all this and say, okay, that's B1, and then this is B1, and then this is B1, and then all of a sudden it's the year 2022, and we don't even know what happened with our time. But that's how you would manually fix it if you didn't know our friend F4. F4 right here. F4 is our friend. And I'm going to tell you why, because F4 anchors. So let's go ahead and delete these formulas right here. I'm going to open them back up. Well, let me close it first. Let me rewrite this formula. I'm just going to say A4 times B1, and now I'm going to anchor it. I'm just going to press F4. And when I press F4, it anchors B1. That means it's going to make it an absolute reference versus a relative reference. It's absolutely going to stay where it's at. I've anchored it. Just like if you're on a boat, you don't want your boat to drift away. You anchor it, and F4 is your friend. And watch this. Every time I press F4, it moves the anchor. F4 one time is usually all you need. We'll get more into anchors at another live stream. So A4 times B1 plus A4 plus B2, and then we press enter, and we're going to copy our formula down. Don't get too excited. Boom! Yes! There you have it. It's correct. Now let's view our formulas. Everything updated, and that's because we used F4. Now let's do this one more time. And F4 is your friend. Remember that. So let me maximize this a little bit so we can all see it really good. And we're going to write that formula. It's equal to A4 times B1. And we got to do what here? Anchor it. And we anchor it by pressing F4. That's right. F4 is your friend. Then we add back the price. Then we add in the shipping. Then we press enter. Then we double click on our autofill handle. And we're happy because, yay, we're done. Everything worked really well and everything got anchored just like we needed it to be anchored. Now we're going to have a brief webinar coming up this Wednesday, day after tomorrow. Check down below in the comments and click on the registration link, and we're going to go into all of this in more detail. And then let's keep on learning, my friends. Just keep coming back, keep checking it out, and keep building your Excel skills. Don't get mad. Get skills, my friends, and let's keep on learning. Aloha.